Welcome to another edition of Pittsburgh Sportsline at Olive Oil's Pizzeria, 930 Brookline Boulevard. We got a great show for you. We got Skip Atkins, the legendary sharer of everything I put out there. He's my man. I gave him a hat. Jeff, can you just pull over on the Skip? Look at that smile with that hat. Doesn't he look good in the Pittsburgh Sportsline baseball hat?
I also have the jersey.
Whoa, he got the polo, but he chose not to wear it tonight. It's too warm out there. 87 degrees today. Unbelievable on October 8th. Who would have thought? But Brookline Boulevard here, can't beat it. The pizza's great. Frank Fanera is the owner, and he sponsors this show, so we appreciate it. Come on out here, and you can join us on the second Monday of each month. We'll be back November 12th, but we're here tonight to talk sports. I'm Al Levine, the talking machine. I got my partner and co-host, Smokin' Jim Frazier. You can watch this show on Comcast 7, only in Bethel Park, and Verizon 32 in Bethel Park, and all the way from Nemacolin to Cranberry, Wexford. And we appreciate you watching it, and thanks for all the likes. We hit a brand new high, 6,779 likes. So this old dog learned a few new tricks. Thank you for watching and liking all our show. We appreciate you. We also have a sponsor for What's on Your Mind, Skeets Lewandowski. You can call him. He works on anything and everything that has gas. 724-348-4715. And Skeets sponsors What's on Your Mind. And we're going to start this show with Smokin' Jim Frazier. What's on your mind?
Thanks, Al Levine, the talking machine. And if you want the green,
easy,
you got to see Levine. Thank everybody for coming out. You know, Al Levine, the talking machine, if you want to win a Super Bowl, you need to teach and develop your players. And sometimes the only way to do that is by firing your assistant coaches. That's why Bill Cowher replaced Dom Capers with Dick LeBeau, replaced Dick LeBeau with Jim Haslett, replaced Jim Haslett with Tim Lewis, replaced Shane Gailey with Mike Mularkey, replaced Mike Mularkey with Kim Wisenhunt, replaced Kim Wisenhunt with Bruce Arians, because a lot of times you need to hear the message from a different voice. Coach Mike Tomlin, on the other hand, has a defensive coordinator, Keith Butler, that couldn't spell cat if you spotted him the C and the T. Joey Porter can't coach. Listen, the best linebacker I've ever seen in my life is T.J. Watt. He's 6'5", 265 pounds. He leads the NFL in quarterback sacks. He can run. He can jump. He can cover backs and receivers. The only thing he needs is a coach that will teach him how to consistently be dominant. He reminds me of Batman, Superman, and Iron Man. Matter of fact, he reminds me of every superhero with the exception of the Black Panther. Listen, you know, if I'm the Pittsburgh Steelers, I'm firing Keith Butler and Joey Porter, and I'm hiring Kevin Green. Kevin Green's an NFL Hall of Famer. Kevin Green, when he played, was Captain America. And you need a superhero to teach a superhero how to win the Super Bowl.
Are you done? I can't hear anymore. Somebody tell me he's done. What did I tell you last week they were doing with what? Rushing.
Yes, sir.
What did they do this week?
I like it.
Yeah, they didn't have him cover too much.
White power.
Thanks, Smokin' Jim. Appreciate you. You stole a little of my thunder here because, as you know, I'm a Steeler fan. I've been a little disgruntled. Everybody was rooting against them, and I had a couple conversations with local people, and they go, when the Steelers are counted out, that's when you count them in. Look what they did. They win a game 41-17. Nobody's talking about Big Ben and his bad passes. And AB's giving him hugs and kisses and smiling ear to ear. He had 2 touchdown passes. Everything is okay. He's like Wi-Fi. He said it was lit up. Unbelievable what AB can say here. Who knows what goes on next? The team showed they had a little bit of defense, which I was surprised. They did hurry Ryan around, and they went up against a terrible defense. So it's not surprising that James Conner was breaking tackles and running, one of his better games. I mean, he's had 2 good games, go figure it out, but it looked like they were blocking. DeCastro was throwing some nice blocks, and some of the other linemen, which it was nice to see that. I mean, it's been shocking with what their record is with a tie, and unbelievable. Have they turned a page and they're going forward? I don't know. Cincinnati's actually looked pretty good, and Smoking Jim loves their quarterback. What's that red-haired, what is he?
Andy the Red Gun Dalton.
Oh, okay. Glad you're eating a piece of pizza. You couldn't
Rib
get that out.
Rib Riker.
Yeah, that's better. I knew you'd make up something for that. I've heard it before. Oh, my goodness. But we'll have to watch against the Bungles. They usually turn into the Bungles because of Myron Cope. But we'll see what happens. I say go Steelers. Let's see what happens. And the Pens are back. Won the first game, which was great against the Caps. Lost the second game. Looks like they didn't even show up. I watched the whole game. It was very frustrating. But that's my what's on your mind. And we're going to start bringing up guests right now. All right, I was told to put this guy's wife on. Will you please tell us your name?
Hi, I'm Dina Drakulich.
Oh, you're Mike's wife. I was wondering who that Phantom guy was. He's a great guy and been on our show many times over the years. He's a Hall of Famer. He's in the Pittsburgh Sportsline Hall of Fame. What an honor that you're married to him.
I know, can you believe it?
I'm in shock.
I'm so lucky.
You truly are blessed. Do you like sports at all?
I do, actually.
Did you play sports?
I did.
What did you play?
So I played softball and tennis and rugby in college.
You're kidding. Wow, that's great. Where'd you go to college at?
Shippensburg.
Shippensburg. They've had a couple running backs come out of that school lately.
Yeah, they have.
Definitely. And what do you do now?
I actually, I get to stay home.
What a good
build
guy
my
you
empire.
have.
Yes.
You're building an empire. What
I'm
is it?
building an empire. So I'm working with an anti-aging and wellness is what I'm doing. Because that's
Well, maybe you could
everybody's
talk to
getting
the
it.
ageless wonder here. We don't know what his age is.
Listen, I wouldn't even guess. Look at him. He looks 22.
Wow. You could stay on the show forever.
Yay!
Smoking Jim's an egomaniac. He won't tell anybody his age or anything else. And he's not 22.
No, well,
That was his number, though.
see?
Wow, the synchronicity here is unbelievable. That was his number. Where was that number at? Gateway?
College.
At college, at Cal U.
Oh, my brother went there.
What
I
year?
have friends who
What
played-
year? What year did your brother go?
95.
Oh, he was gone. He was gone by then.
I was out by then.
We've had people investigating him, and they've never seen or heard of Smoking Jim Frazier. It's shocking. So I don't know what he's talking about being a captain and of the
I
team.
don't know. You know, word on the street is he's pretty famous.
Yeah, we're looking into it, but mostly in Gateway. That's where he's famous at. So we won't bring that up again. So what's this empire?
So I'm building an anti-aging and wellness empire.
Okay.
I myself have had health issues. You
Like
know,
what?
I am diabetic.
If you can talk about it.
Yeah, I can.
Okay.
I'm diabetic, and I have the fibro, and I have the RA, and a lot of that is from, you know,
What we eat.
it is, and
An
you know,
environment.
and you beat yourself up as a kid. You play all these sports, and especially like when I came up.
Well, you're making sense, and actually I have a daughter that's lactose intolerant, and I was going through a divorce, and her mom said it was in her head. We took her to doctors, and they found out she's lactose intolerant, and that when she went to parties and ate pizza,
Yeah.
that's why she was sick and wanted to come home.
Right, exactly.
And look what she had to go through, so...
Right, and there's so many things that we're finding out now with the environmental factors and
Look what's in our food, or shouldn't be in our food.
exactly, and you know what we grow up with, and the pollution in the air, and all of those.
And water. How about water around here?
Exactly.
These mills left, but where do you think all the pollutants went? They're in the ground here.
Exactly.
Do I know anything?
Right, you're right on it. And you know all of that. Not only does that age you,
Yeah.
but what you put in your body ages you, and what you've been through. Medications you're on.
Yeah. Hold it. Is Kentucky Fried Bucket chickens, is that good for you? Because Smoking Jim had a quadruple bypass, and the other day, after we're done with our live show, he goes, "Hey, Talking Machine, look what I always have with me." I go, "If that's a Kentucky Fried Bucket of chicken, I don't want to see it."
It's protein, right?
Only if it's extra crispy, though. I mean, really. If you're going to do it, you've got to go big.
He does it all the time. We can try to make excuses. The best smile in the media. Look at one of the nicest guys in local media, but he don't eat right. And that's why I bring people on like you and others to try to be healthy. Like I told you, I drink the green tea, and I try to watch my carbs and stuff and try to eat healthy. And
it really does go back to our food pyramid.
yes,
Like,
just
really,
reverse
honestly.
it.
Yeah.
Just reverse it like a keto diet. If you reverse it and switch it around, because I did a show on that, Healthier, Happier You, for the fans of Healthier, Happier You.
Right.
We talked about the keto diet. Just flip the pyramid.
And because I'm diabetic, I can't
You
go
gotta
into
watch.
ketosis.
Yeah.
I can't do
No,
that.
that'd be terrible.
Right. I fight to stay out of that.
Sure.
So that's something that I couldn't do. But
Well, that's
I
why
have
there's
found-
different lifestyles for people to
Right.
do and live. Like there's Mediterranean diets and other
Right.
things like that. So
And the-
what do you do?
I do a balanced diet
Okay.
because, obviously. And
You have
because
issues.
because I have issues. And I have found that some of the supplements, which are all holistic,
Yeah.
because I feel that more chemicals putting
Explain
into
to
your-
him what holistic is, because I'm a big believer of it. And he has to look in the dictionary, but save him that. Smoking Jim?
is all natural. So these are plant-based. These are things that
What you don't eat
are
is what she's
out-
talking about.
Yeah, they're out of our foods now, because we put so many preservatives in. How many people
Sure.
go across, go to Europe, and everything is so fresh there, and they get sick?
Sure.
Because there's no preservatives in the food, and our body is so used to it.
That's what's keeping him so young.
It does. Yeah, it will. It will keep you young.
He'll be looking great in that coffin.
Yes. And, there's things like,
I'm serious.
there are certain things
It's helped to
that-
preserve me.
especially now, brain health.
Don't
Everybody
even
worries
talk.
about
He
that.
suffers CTE. He's been concussed so many times, and he's so forgetful.
So listen,
he doesn't
I have
remember.
something for that.
He doesn't remember 1 minute ago.
Honest to goodness, it is a vitamin supplement that I take every day.
What's in it?
It has this particular protein in it that I don't know if any of you guys have ever heard of him, but there's
Mention him.
Jeffrey Stock. He is
I haven't heard of him.
he's Princeton. They went through Princeton, and all the products that I use are patented for 30 years. So you can't just go to the grocery store and get them. And
Because he'd like to, along with that chicken there.
right.
I want to be able to think again.
Yes, and it helps you.
It's not gonna
It helps
happen.
fuse back those neurons.
Sure.
All of that spider webbing
Well,
in your
your
brain.
your mitochondria need that. Your telomeres need that.
Yes.
So it helps to keep you young if you keep your telomeres healthy.
Yes.
So I
and
know a couple things
you're
for
doing
you.
good.
How am I doing?
I
Thank
like
you.
it.
Sound like you making that up.
No, it's all fact.
But
She's
yeah,
agreeing with me. Dina knows.
this EHT,
Your telomeres, you don't want them to age, my friend.
Yeah.
And your mitochondria is in every cell of your body.
Right. Yes.
Cell, every cell. It's
I
microscopic.
never learned that typing.
But
class.
this EHT is amazing. It helps bring back that cognitive function that we lose anyway as we age.
He lost it so many years ago. I don't know if they could find it. I mean, you're preaching to the choir. I respect you, and I would try it because at my advanced age, I do look pretty good.
But
And
even kids are doing it.
Yes.
Even young kids can use this.
Wow.
Some parents who don't want to use
he has
ADHD
99 godchildren.
Nice. So, the ADHD meds, they'll.
Yes.
A lot of parents are trying to get away from those.
Well, as well they should. It's
Right.
terrible. Ritalin and all this other stuff.
Right. And this is an all-natural approach that helps with the focus.
Very interesting.
It is. That I have customers who actually had to get better prescriptions
Get
because
out.
their eyesight actually got better.
Well, can you help him out?
I
What is this called?
It's called EHT, and it's a vitamin supplement.
EHT.
But I figured, especially with the sports, everybody has taken the hits. Everybody has had injuries.
He wants to be like James Harrison and spend $1,000 a day. Can you help him?
I can help you.
He'll spend $99, but not $1,000.
I have like that kind of stuff, and I have stuff that like puts the stuff back into your cells, feeds your cells again, and you start looking better because your insides are better.
How can he look any better?
I know. I don't think you need too much.
Look at him.
Right.
What a sweetheart.
But yeah, so and that's what I've gotten into.
Great.
Because I feel that everybody can benefit from that.
Sure.
Nothing is girly. Nothing is like a certain age range.
Sure.
There's nothing that...
It's all good for you, so why
It's all
not?
good for you.
Hey,
So-
I try to do good things. That's why I drink my green tea every day.
Exactly.
I take a tablespoon of coconut oil every day.
Yes. And some of the green tea extracts are in some of my products.
And that helps with weight loss and everything.
It does.
Because
helps
it
me
accelerates
so much.
that.
It does. And I used to be one who, at 3 o'clock, like I knew it was 3 o'clock.
How'd you know?
My body told me I wanted a nap and I wanted a snack. Like I could,
Wow.
I didn't have to be near a clock. I could tell you it was 3 o'clock.
Get out.
And now, not anymore.
You don't know what time it is.
No. I don't have that 3 o'clock lag and drag anymore.
Good for you.
Yeah.
All by taking some of these products
Yes.
and changing,
we
watching your
just-
diet. And,
So you know how like they've been talking about, there's a commercial where the blind man is talking about his circadian rhythm.
yes.
So
I know
kids-
about circadian rhythm.
Right. So kids have this.
He never heard that.
So it's your natural sleep and wake cycle. And as we get older, because we force ourselves off of it to work
He doesn't
jobs
sleep for
and-
3-4 days.
Right. I used to. He would tell you. I would work on like two and a half
Wow.
hours of sleep. Like that's how I would run.
He
And
does
even
that
if I took a
normally.
sleep pill, it wouldn't work. And then, that affects your brain and your cognitive functions.
I knew it.
It does.
I knew it. He's living proof.
It does. It does. It works like this.
For 7 years, I've been going through this. You got the secret to everything.
I do.
I'll buy a pill for him right now. Please, don't hold back.
Yeah, and so I just started using these sleep and energy chews. And
Sleep and energy
yes,
chews.
it's one chew.
He could handle. Look how he's chewing.
Yeah. So you take one 15 to 20 minutes, you're out.
Get on.
Out.
Well, he wouldn't know what to
And
do. He drives a
relaxed.
lot, so he doesn't want to be
Right.
out.
And you can take it whenever. And then the energy chew just helps sustain that. And it puts your circadian rhythm back. in.
Normalizes it.
It normalizes it.
Wow.
And you won't believe how much better you start looking and feeling once that starts.
How can he look any better? Come on.
And even kids can use those.
That's great.
It helps with focus.
So your market's everybody.
It is, which is really nice.
Thanks for being on Pittsburgh Sportsline.
Right. Thank you so much for having
It's
me.
anybody and everybody.
It is. It really is. I don't think there's anybody.
Do you
that
want to
would-
give out somewhere where they can contact you?
Sure. Actually.
No,
you can
usually I
always-
don't let women give phone numbers out. But if you
Well,
have a
you'd have to
site
call
or
my
something,
husband.
if you have a site or something, or
Yeah,
you have
and
a
actually, you
Facebook
guys-
page,
I do, and you can.
you
always,
can put that out and
Yeah.
publicize that.
So my Facebook page is Look Great and Feel Great, and you can always,
He's
reach my
typing
husband.
it in right now because he's
He
lying.
is. My husband, Mike Drakulich, can always point you to me if you have any questions.
And that's
He'll get it to
Pittsburgh Sports Nation.
me. That is Pittsburgh Sports Nation. It is in a whole nutshell.
It's worldwide.
It is. It's international, my friend.
I understand. I'm in 52 countries myself
See?
with Pittsburgh Sportsline, and he's got me beat.
You're big in Ghana.
No, I'm out of Ghana because of you. He kept introducing me to these boxing coaches that couldn't speak English and said I should know this guy. I'm like, I don't know who this guy is. So he introduced me to some Ghana coaches, and guess what? No pun intended, they're gone.
They're Ghana.
They're gone. No. That's how simple it is.
Thank you so much for having me. I can't tell you how much I appreciate
Well, thank you for
it.
the information because, as you know, I'm a bit of a health nut, so
Yes.
I appreciate that type of stuff.
Yeah, and I
And what's the
swear by
company?
it. It's Nerium International.
Spell it, because
It's
like him, he doesn't know.
Nerium International.
And I'm old, so say it again.
It's Nerium International.
Okay, thank you very much,
Thank
Dana.
you.
My pleasure to
Appreciate
have
it.
you on.
Have a great night. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, and good luck.
Thanks.
Welcome aboard.
My
It's been a while, Hall of Famer. You're more than welcome.
I've missed you guys.
You know we'll talk some sports with you.
Yes.
For sure. Definitely.
From Midland, baby. Come on, you know that. That down.
He's going to test you. Come on. What's going
start
on?
singing Give It Back like
What's
in
going
the
on with
Rocky.
you? Congratulations on your wife here. It's just great to have her.
She is. She's something else. Is she not?
We just found out.
I told you. I told you, earlier.
I'm duly impressed.
When you meet her, she makes an impression, doesn't she?
She made a good one.
I mean, when I saw her for the first time, she made an impression, and I said, "That's going to be mine."
Wow. Unbelievable. What a romantic story.
I mean, I did tell her that it was like chasing chickens to corral her finally. It
You're
took, like,
kidding.
a good 6 months.
So like Rocky. It was like a Rocky movie.
They get that chicken right now. That was me chasing that chicken. I finally caught it though.
Wow. How long did it take?
A good year to finally get that collar all the way around her. To drag
You're
her back.
kidding me.
I mean, the next step was to club her over the head like.
No. You're a gentleman. We don't promote
Take her
anything
back,
like that.
like the old ways.
We promote good stuff. All positivity here. This is a family-friendly show.
Well, it is, but sometimes you got to take extra measures, to get married.
I understand the reality of it. I understand.
So, I mean, how have my main guys been? I mean, I miss you guys, and then I'm
we're
honored
good.
to be back on as a Hall of Famer.
It's my honor to interview you, so we're going to talk away here because I had some cancellations. I actually had 7 cancellations
Well, they
tonight.
heard I was coming. They said that Midland
No,
guy's
they-
coming, and well, he's dangerous, so we better
Yeah,
stay away.
but we had 7
Plus,
cancellations.
they know that I like Alacoppa football, and they think, well, that's even
even worse.
Twice the trouble right there, because they know Beaver County, baby,
I know. Beaver County strong.
Midland, Lincoln Park basketball, and Alacoppa football. We don't play around down Beaver County. We win championships.
You got winners.
That's right.
That's what counts.
I'm
And even the Serbian winners.
Hey, we did lose in the championship last year, but you know what?
I heard about it. I saw your exploits
We're
again.
coming back. I'm going to get these guys to stay one more year in the under 40. Even though
Are
we're
you?
all- even though
You're
we're all,
over.
we're all old now, chasing these 20-year-olds around like it's just not.
Hey, at least you're able to do it.
I got her product, so we're gonna test these theories. And
Well, you sound sharper already.
I feel good.
You don't have any of that CTE damage like my man. I like
She
it.
cracked me a couple times. She doesn't like me like switching places when I go watch playoff games.
Yeah.
Like she gets mad if I don't tell her where I'm going.
Sure.
Like I have to be home by the streetlights are on, or I could be in trouble.
Wow.
But like I get.
That could be dangerous.
It is, and like, well, you know me, I'm superstitious.
Sure.
So if I'm not
How
at the
could you
game,
not be? We all are in
if
sports.
we're not at the game, like if I'm at a certain
This is
place
my
and,
seat.
and it's like quiet there, and like you don't get that vibe, it's like we gotta go somewhere else.
Well, he has Gateway season tickets, sits on one corner of a bench
And they're back this year.
for years.
The Gators.
We don't even want to talk about it.
WBL championship last year.
Well, they looked good last year, but that's 2 years in a row. But see, I think we'll see a.
Once they dropped them down in class, they're stellar. That's what counts. The class drop helped.
So me and my man, we have a good time when we meet up at Heinz Field for the Whitfield Championship. So this year will be no
I
different.
can only imagine.
So we both come there for the turkey dinner and
Definitely.
chips and
He comes there for the steak.
Yeah, well,
The chef will cook that steak.
that I don't have. It's kind of unfair. I get the turkey. I like.
He doesn't share them either.
I'm gonna follow him around like a puppy.
Guess
This
what?
time, make sure I get
You'll be
that
holding
ribeye.
the bag and it'll be
Say,
empty.
hey, come get a little slip of ribeye there, a little lobster. So
I thought of my man on what was it last week? I was cameraman at Nemacolin, and this Andy Amrine, a friend of mine, does Around the Town on BPTV. So they had me have the camera. So I got to interview a few people, did that, and then I told one of the waitresses that I like my steak rare.
that's what I like to see.
Prime ribs rare. So she goes, before the chefs cook it, I'll tell you when they are, and you go out. I go out there, and now we're at Nemacolin, right?
Yeah.
So this one kid goes, Al Levine, the talking machine. So I go, how do you even know me? He goes, I watch you on YouTube every week. You guys are great. And I said, can I get my steak rare? And the other chef next to him goes, we already flipped it. I go, man, it's a Pittsburgh rare. You sear one side and sear the other. Get that thing off of there.
Yep.
So I got my steak, and there's 2 fans that I met at Nemacolin. So who knows where our imprint is. Like I say, from Nemacolin to Cranberry Wexford, this was Nemacolin. It was a great steak.
You get your steak rare, that's a white thing, eh?
No. Black people like you taught me about that.
Or an Italian thing. She likes hers like completely well done. You gotta
Well,
have, like, aborigine.
he gets his crispy.
I mean, I want to see
Yeah.
some juice in that. You know, I don't want to
Yeah. Well, me, I like it red and juicy. So
You remember that scene from like Trading Places where
Yes.
he's eating the salmon through his beard?
Yes, I
That's
do.
like eating a well-done steak.
I
to me,
know.
man. I'm like, no.
I just saw it the other day. It was back on again.
I said, look,
it's
you
one of
kill
my
that
favorites.
thing, you throw him on the grill for a couple seconds each, and once he starts wagging his tail, I'm ready.
And Eddie Murphy was great in that movie, Smoking Jim.
Oh, Trading
You got to
Places
watch
is number
Trading
one,
Places.
right? Come on.
Dan Aykroyd. Oh, we're covering movies and things here.
When we actually had real films back then, you know what I mean? Today's movies are good, you know what I mean? Come on.
He's
Not
talking.
the 80s.
He's talking Black Panther. I don't even know what that is. What the heck happened? And I don't care what color you
Yeah,
are.
he's not shouting you down, though, while you're talking, though, like in the movie, though. He could be.
Yeah, he could. Why do you think we don't have him mic'd up? Look,
man.
he isn't mic'd up. He gave the mic to me to talk to you.
He's going to be, every time he's tired of you talking, he's like, huh, huh, like that, you know? I mean, you're in trouble.
Guess I can't hear because of his yelling.
That's next up. That's the next show.
Can you do anything for my hearing?
He's going to dress up like the Black Panther. He's going to, be like this, and then that's it.
He
Takes over the show.
fell asleep at the movie. That's how much he liked it. I got the scouting report on him.
That's why you got to get those chews to him. He'll be awake for the
Oh,
whole movie.
man. He'll take 2.
You're going to need it.
He does need it. No doubt. Well, let's get to some sports. First, what do you think of Pitt?
Well, you know, last week was the second week in a row that I went against him. I mean, obviously, I had some high expectations from him at the beginning of the season. I saw
Sure.
things in training camp.
You and Nardozzi were on the same page.
They looked okay. I mean, like Kenny Pickett looked well. He looked sharp. They have a real good group of receivers,
Sure.
and it looked like, okay, we'll find
And-
a
and
passing
some running
game.
backs.
Like the Miami game last year. They opened it up, and they
Yeah.
looked really good, and they gave us some hope for the future.
But why can they only play one good game?
I can't figure it out. I mean, okay, you start off at Albany, and they played well.
Yeah.
Okay, it's Albany and stuff like that. They were playing well against Penn State.
Yeah.
As much as the score
first half.
went the other way. But
First half.
You know, it's a bad, rainy, disgusting, horrific night. I'm on the sidelines myself getting poured on all night long. But it is what it is. You have to adjust as either professional or a highly trained college athlete to adjust to these things.
Sure.
Now, they went down, they scored their touchdown, and Pitt goes down and they scored, and then you get that little kick in the stomach when Alex Kessman missed the field goal or
Sure.
missed the extra point. So
Yeah.
now you're not quite tied. You know, you get the little thing in there.
Right.
Well, they've had their chances. They kept going back and forth all first half, getting close. There was the interception.
Sure.
And then when they finally get down there again, and they're on, I believe, was the 5-yard line.
Yeah.
It was 4th and 3 or 4th and 4, and they called the timeout. And I'm basically praying, just kick the field goal.
Yeah.
And I know he just missed a field goal the series before.
Sure.
But it was from 40-some yards out.
Yeah.
This is closer. This is an extra point.
Yeah,
Just
20 yards
Take
with
the
that.
lead before going to halftime and be happy with what you got.
Right.
So they called the timeout, and I'm figuring, all right, he's come to his senses. He ain't
Yeah.
gonna run a play, right? Well, they come back
Bingo.
out there, and I'm thinking, all right, he better know what he's doing, and there's better be something special here.
Sure.
I'm thinking, okay, you roll the kid out to the right or something. You have some options. You have Shockey,
No.
Jacques Louis, or
Whoever.
Matthews, or Tayseer Mack, somebody, a tight
Yeah.
end, a running back, somebody. You run a dive at their best player. I sat there, was like,
What game am I watching?
what are you doing? I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm like, I'm already wet. I'm mad. I'm going, what was that? So I was like, okay, I see how this is going to go. I'm tired of getting rained on, so I figured I was going to
Sure.
go shoot back up to the box
Yeah.
and get dry and get ready for the second half. And, well, Penn State punts back to Pitt.
Yeah.
And then they go 3 and out, and that ball gets dropped by the punter. And the next thing you know, touchdown Penn State. And it just
Unbelievable.
Wile E. Coyote off a cliff.
Yeah.
And suddenly now, instead of you being up,
It turned completely.
either up 9-7, or maybe the other field goal gets made, or maybe
Yeah.
you score a touchdown. You have all the momentum. All the momentum went to their thing.
Sure.
And I don't know what went on in that locker room, and that's the most disappointing part to me.
Yeah.
From the come out in the second half, and play like that in front of that crowd, just to have no fight back, nothing, just to get absolutely destroyed by that team.
Sure.
And then for the other guy, we all know him, Mr. Franklin,
Yeah.
who likes to run up scores on people except for Ohio State. Yeah, didn't get a chance to do that, did he? So,
Oops.
yeah, oops. He'll enjoy doing that to Pitt and
My
run up
daughter,
35 points on
Penn
Illinois.
State grad, was there with her boyfriend.
They were having a good time.
Disappointing.
They were scoring as I left the place. 'Cause, I mean, it's pouring down rain, and obviously, it was a hard to park kind of day, and they wouldn't even
Sure.
let me park on my own lot. I had to park all the way behind Mullen, so I had to walk
You're
like 19
kidding.
blocks to get back to my car. And I'm still hearing them scoring. I'm going, are you kidding me? And so I didn't actually know
What happened?
that they were throwing passes. I'm going, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
So, they rubbed it in a little bit. And if anyone from Pitt that's coming back next year, or Narduzzi and stuff like that, that's
Yeah.
something you remember. So I would think, okay, maybe they'll take that to heart and they'll come back. And they
Sure.
played well the next week against Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech has that triple option.
Yeah.
Pitt played well.
Yeah.
So you think, all right,
Maybe there's something.
we're back a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Does Notre Dame like to run up scores?
They're going to try this week. They're favored by 21, so we'll see what happens.
How can it not happen?
Well, North Carolina. I mean, seriously. You scout. You see things. That team has no business coming anywhere near Pitt. And they've beaten them like 6 times in a row now. I mean,
Yeah.
every time we play them, it's like Cincinnati.
They
They
have
can't
their
beat
number.
the Steelers
They
no
have-
matter what you do.
Yeah, they bungle.
It's like Michael Myers are there.
Yeah.
So you're thinking, all right, we win this game. We got a chance to go down to UCF next week and
Sure.
get that Penn State taste out of your mouth.
Sure.
You get you have that game. It's just again to UNC. It's just a like are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Again to them.
Brutal.
So you lose to them, and then you go down to UCF, and then you just get absolutely brutalized in front of the nation.
Yeah. Terrible.
And they could be as good as everyone wants to say they are.
Yeah.
They're still not a Power 5 team.
No.
And-
Not even close.
Play an ACC schedule.
Yeah.
Play a Big Ten schedule. Play the SEC. Let's see you have 0 losses in that thing. You ain't
Sure.
playing SMU and the rest of these teams game in, game out. You
Yeah.
got someone that's going to come get you every single game. I'm
That's
not saying
why I
that
wanted.
they're not good.
That's why I wanted your opinion.
I'm not saying they're not good.
Right.
And if they run the table,
So be it.
they might be in the college football playoff. They might get their chance,
Yeah.
like they did last year.
Yeah.
If they do run the table, it's a special thing to do. But I just don't think that they would do that in a Power 5 conference.
Sure.
Or imagine having Notre Dame schedule. Ain't
Not
happening.
gonna-
I
not
don't care how
gonna
good they are.
happen.
No, you're not doing that.
No, not at all.
So, hey, Pitt. I went against them last week against Syracuse.
Sure.
I thought Eric Dungy's going to eat them alive.
Yeah.
I thought Mo Strickland's going to have a big game, and I'm thinking, here we go. And sure enough,
They
14-0, just like that. I'm thinking, wow, here we go. We're going to
I
get
know.
blown away on this beautiful Saturday
I
afternoon.
know what a day it was.
Nowhere.
Yeah.
Kadri gets that touchdown, 69-yard touchdown run, cuts it to 14-7. You're thinking, all right.
Here we
If
go.
we can make a stop for the first time this century, we could do something. And Quentin Virginis
Yeah.
rips that ball out of Dungy's hands, and the ball's on the ground. Next thing you know, 14-all.
I know.
Now you're thinking, oh, boy, what we got here?
Yeah. It could be.
Well, it's a game here, boys and
Yeah.
girls. So,
Yeah.
Kessman, you got to give up to that kid.
Yeah.
He did not get ACC Special Teams Player of the Week. I believe a kid from Miami or Florida State got
Yeah,
it for
that's what
all
I
his
heard.
punt returns. But
Yeah.
I mean, he kicked the longest field goal in the history of Heinz Field
That's amazing. What
at
a
54,
kick.
and then he eclipsed it with 55 the next kick.
Yeah.
In
250-plus field goals at
Yeah.
Heinz
How
Field
about that? So
at the
they-
open end.
So we're thinking good, right? We're feeling good.
Yeah.
We're up 27-17. We get the ball back, and again, like the other games, they run themselves to the ground.
Yeah.
And slowly, here comes the other team again. And next thing you know, we're down by a touchdown, right? And
Yeah.
you're thinking, same old Pitt. Everyone's thinking, here we go, another
S-
loss, another
SOP.
brutal loss.
SOP,
As my
baby.
dad said all the time, a long time ago.
He's right.
Same old Pitt.
Yeah.
But what did they do? Found a way to come back.
Yeah.
Now they tied him. I don't know what was going on in that last 2 minutes
That they did.
when they had that ball. When they had a chance to actually win the game instead of going for the field goal.
Right,
And by
right.
the way, the previous possession when Syracuse completed that long pass,
Yeah.
the dude was juggling like he was a clown. Only thing he's missing was like dressed like Ronald McDonald. How they didn't review that play?
That
I'd
was
like
in
to
the
know.
that was in the Wendy's commercial.
I was kind of curious.
Yeah.
How on earth? I mean, if that was an ACC South team, like a Southern
Sure.
team, like Florida State or Miami playing for something big,
Right.
that referee would have stood over that ball until it was confirmed, until the National Guard came to get him off that ball. But they run that play real quick, and they get
Yeah.
then the next set of downs, they kick the field goal, and they go up by 3. But I don't know what coach and them guys were thinking with that last drive. They were taking their time like they had
I don't know.
40 years left,
I don't
and like
know.
go for the win, and they ended up making Kessman kick that long field goal, and he made it.
Yeah.
But hey, to their credit, they got the coin flip.
Sure.
They went down and they scored. Dungy tried that long pass to strike
Yeah.
more quickly for them, and the kid went up and snatched it up, and then the rest is history. They won. I mean,
I know. Amazing.
so now you got a little momentum going again,
That
and
kid's from Bashir High School.
kid something else. And he just went up and took it away. It's just mine, and that will help them out. I hope
yeah.
at least be close and competitive to Notre Dame. They have a history of going out there and playing well against them, and
Let's
even
see
pulling
what
off an
happens.
occasional upset. But
Yeah.
I'm kind of hoping that leads to at least them playing well, because they do have the talent on
Sure.
that team, I think, to compete against teams.
Yeah.
I mean, Syracuse, they killed Florida State, and
Yeah.
they should have beaten Clemson.
Yeah.
If they wouldn't have played, more on ball the last 8 minutes of the game against Clemson,
Yeah.
passing the ball and running out of bounds and not running the clock,
Right.
they probably would have won that game.
Yeah.
I mean, anyone knows. Jim knows. I mean, if you're up, what? How much time left in the fourth quarter? What do you do?
Ron.
Run. You run some clock. Except they're
Eat
running
the-
pass
eat the
plays
clock, right?
And like giving the ball back to this team at home. You know
Yeah.
what happens once they
No.
get momentum? That's it.
Trouble.
It's Clemson.
Yeah. Definitely.
So we'll see what happens. I mean, they're 21-point dogs.
yeah.
I don't think they're going to quite lose by that much.
We'll see.
But they
Got my money on Notre Dame.
one thing they had better do is get that passing game going with Kenny Pickett.
yeah.
He right now doesn't seem to have any confidence, and it looks
No.
like the coach don't have any confidence in him. But you got some good running backs, and all of a sudden, Hall,
Sure.
you're going to need to pass, and you need to find those tight ends, and you need to find Tyler Sear. Maybe it's anybody. Just
Yeah.
get something going here. I mean, let
Hit somebody in the
him
hands.
loose. If you're
Yeah.
going to go down fighting. You know what I
Right.
mean?
We'd like to see that.
Just don't go down and get crushed like you did against UCF. I mean, let's
Right.
put up an effort. You're on.
that was
You're on
terrible.
TV for the world now with Notre Dame to see. I'm sure you don't want to get killed
Sure,
again. So
sure.
we'll see what happens. I don't think they're going to win, but I don't think they're going to get tagged by 21 either. So
Whoa. Watch those points, smoking Jim Frazier. And if you're going to start gambling, do the opposite of smoking Jim.
well, do the opposite as me too. I went 2-8 this week. So
Whoa, what the heck
against all
happened?
odds, my one thing. My God, no matter who I pick, it's like this pick opposite of me.
Wow. All right, you heard it here.
Oh, I did take Syracuse though. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
I got the Steelers right though.
Did you? All right, let's talk some Steelers. What a season it's been here with all the drama here.
It's been interesting.
They try to act like they're not causing drama. All you got to do is listen to Steeler interviews, and they're all about drama.
It's team turmoil, and
Oh, without a doubt.
it gets a little frustrating. I mean, I don't know. I would imagine being on the team is frustrating. I know people watching it's fans. It's frustrating.
Sure.
I would hope that the owners like Rudy is frustrated by seeing a team that has a great opportunity to win.
Well,
another
look at everybody was picking them as Super Bowl
And
contenders.
they have that type of team to do it. But then when you always have these me players, and I understand that people want to get paid, but like
That's the nature of
you got
football.
these guys infighting, and it's like it's not about team, it's about me. And like I have no idea, like if Le'Veon does come back in a couple weeks,
Yeah.
how he's going to talk to that locker room because
He'll be back in 1 week, next
well,
Monday.
The way they were talking was what it was. His agent was talking the way he was. Well, I don't want to like get too many carries because I might get hurt. Now, if I'm an offensive lineman, I might be treating him as like he's Paul Cruz from from the longest yard. I'd be like, hey, you know
Yeah.
what? I'm out here breaking my back.
No, just be a
and
gate.
bones and
Just be a
blood.
gate. Turn. Just turn.
say-
It'll be a turnstile.
He's going right there. Maybe a lesson or two.
Here's our man.
So
You could find him right
he
behind
has
us.
some fences to take care of once he gets back.
Well, I believe
If he gets
when
back,
he
he
com-
does not get traded.
when he comes back, I think it'll be in the kumbaya. It'll take about 15 minutes, half an hour, an
He
hour.
has one good run, he'll be back in good graces.
Oh, sure.
You really can't fault how James Connors played.
No, he was breaking tackles.
Played a great game against Cleveland,
Yeah.
fumble aside.
Yeah.
But, the defense could have stepped up and made a play the last 8 minutes of that
Right.
quarter, the fourth quarter. Something happens before, back in, like 2000s that they got with that defense.
Sure.
They took it to heart. It was like, oh, we have a fumble or an interception. Well, we'll just go get the ball back.
Yeah.
Well, they allowed Cleveland to come back.
Right.
So that's kind of on both Connor for that and, well, the defense for not stopping Cleveland. I mean,
Sure.
it's Cleveland. Come on, man. I know they're playing better.
Well, just think if Cleveland had a kicker.
You
They
like
could
that?
be 5-0 right
Did
now.
you see that quail that he kicked last year? I think it was fluttering through the air.
Unbelievable.
So, Connor, a lot of people are trying to say that they don't think that he's like a starting running back, and I disagree with that vehemently.
He's doing it right now.
I mean, his numbers through 5 games are better than Bell's was through 5 games last year.
Yeah.
And I don't know about you, but I didn't notice the offensive line exactly playing too well the first 4
Well,
games.
that was my question is, where are all these blockers at?
Exactly. And Ben was getting harassed in these horrible throws.
Sure.
He wasn't having the time he
Sure.
normally
But
had
he
to
was
throw.
throwing high.
He
Had
was
this image that, I don't know what's up with him, but he was throwing a high ball.
everywhere but on target.
Yeah, and
Never like
that's
that.
terrible. Then the other week he was throwing the low ball into the
Normally
ground.
when you throw high, you're throwing off your back foot, and it looked like he was stepping in the passes. I mean, you go
That's
back
what
and you
that's
throw
what
it,
was
it
odd.
fills.
But he was throwing the high ball.
I don't know what was with his head.
No.
But and that's what I mean. It goes
Put it
back.
like this: age affects everybody in different ways.
Give him some
We
of
need
the shoes.
Dina.
Give him some of the
We
shoes.
need Dina to see him and give him a pill.
That's the whole thing. I was
Dina's
saying
pill.
Is that's the team just that they weren't together.
No.
Ben's off, or the running's off, the tackling's off, or like you miss a easy interception or something.
Sure.
Something's always going wrong.
Yeah.
And they have that mentality like, oh man, now what? Instead of like before, they had that, okay,
Right, we'll do it.
we'll just go out, we'll go get it in the next series, we're fine.
And they could.
And so-
now, if we don't have the ball at the end of the game, I'm nervous.
It does make you nervous. However, the last 2 weeks, the defense has played better. They only gave up 2 touchdowns to the Ravens, and they gave up 2 touchdowns to a very good Falcons team. The
Yeah, they
Falcons
did.
are terrible defensively, but
Sure.
they were scoring over 30 points a game
right,
offensively.
they're one of the
so
top
they shut
offensive
them
teams.
down.
Yeah.
Julio Jones was invisible.
Yeah.
Joe Hayden shut him down. He had nothing to do. I
Sure.
mean, fourth quarter, he finally showed up.
And TJ letting
So-
him rush makes a big
You
difference.
have got to get a blitz. You can't just let Flacco had all that time
Yeah.
to find his receivers and things like that. You have to get after the quarterback. I mean, if you're
Well, that's what we're known for.
it's a
Hold it, weren't we called Blitzburg?
Blitzburg.
What happened to that?
It was in the grave somewhere.
What happened to that?
they
They had T-shirts with that.
I agree with him earlier, but I mean, I don't know what Butler's thinking. I don't know what they're doing, but they brought some of that back this week,
Yeah.
and they better continue doing that. But I still am not going to be. I'm not going to cry if he disappears and someone else gets
Yeah.
the job, because I've seen 2 years now where a team that has some pretty decent talent.
Yeah.
And it did fall off the cliff when Shazier went down.
Sure.
They were playing well until he got hurt.
Well,
But
here,
still,
let's
there's
go to the
communication,
draft.
You know,
Who did they get to replace Shazier?
without
They've got
Bostic-
7 defensive backs.
They went
Bostic.
Bostic, and he hasn't done nothing.
No, it's rare.
So, now Fort came in and actually, these
He
guys
actually looked
played
decent.
pretty good.
Yeah.
And Vince was out last week too, Williams.
Yeah. And they played
And
better.
I think Matakevich was in. So
Yeah.
they were talking about that today on certain other shows that,
The fan.
that maybe the communication was a little better because there was like no one out of place for the first time all
like
season
like
long.
they said, I happened to be listening to that fan at that
Yeah.
time. Think about this. Shazier and Williams played pretty well together.
Yeah.
But Shazier was calling the plays. Now Williams had to call the plays, and you always see a lack of communication out
you
there.
look at these guys, and you got guys
They're like, what?
turning and looking towards each other,
Yeah.
and no one knows where they're at. And you give a confident quarterback, and Mahomes looks like he's the guy. Sometimes
So
he's
far.
going to destroy you.
Yeah.
I mean, he killed Jacksonville.
What a
Well,
great
he
young
killed
man.
Jacksonville, but they took care of Jacksonville yesterday.
Sure.
I was surprised by that.
Right.
I thought if anything it'd be a close game because Jacksonville has that defense.
I
and they
know.
play
What
well,
happened
but
to
they
them?
Blew them away though.
I know.
So, they still have a long way to go too.
Yeah,
early
that's
for them.
another story.
But they look good. So there was no excuse. Tampa Bay game, Ravens game, 4
Yeah.
quarters in the second half to score no points.
Sure.
When you have that type of offense, none. I mean, how could you? And Ben took the blame
Yeah.
both times, and it was on him. You're the guy that's going back there now. You wanted
Sure.
a coordinator
I
to
don't
give you
care.
some
I don't
freedom.
care if AB's texting you or crying.
Yeah.
Throw him the ball.
He
Throw somebody else the ball.
He took the blame, and that's the guy you're going to point the finger at because he wanted more control of that offense.
Sure.
He wanted to say, hey, let
He
me
has
take
his
it.
guy in there. So come on.
So you have your guys and you're missing and throwing high, throwing low.
Yeah.
You're not calling any balance, any running plays. The thing yesterday is they had a balanced attack. They ran, they passed, they did little screens, they did a little bit of everything to keep the defense
and they had
off.
some unusually good blocking.
There you go. See, so it came together a little bit, and so that's something to build off of next week. Next week's huge.
And their punter could actually punt.
Actually,
What happened to Barry?
He had
He's
a
an
couple-
Australian punter,
He had a couple wellness shoes.
but he must have. Because I'll tell you what, his punting all year has been terrible. How many times do you see a guy going for the punt, running up 10 yards, 20 yards?
Yeah, you must
That's
think
shocking.
That's like a high school. Like he could punt for Aliquippa.
Yeah, 15 yards.
I mean, so hey, next week's big. I mean, you lose this game to Cincinnati, and they're 5-1, and now you're, well, we would be what 2-3 and 1.
2-3 and 1.
You can't have that. You can't be 3 games behind.
No.
So we'll see.
Another
I think-
must win by Mike Dracula.
I like their chances. I mean, Ben looked good with AB. I would like to see James Washington get more involved.
Yeah.
He still looks like he's a little bit.
How about Juju
now.
looks good?
I mean, you got 2 great ones, but you still need one more in there that opens up just to leave a little bit more space. Because you had Martavis doing that. He'd find a little bit more space, and I let Juju.
Hold it. A little side note here for Martavius.
Yeah,
I happened to flip the Oakland game on, and this is for Smoking Jim's effect.
Mm-hmm.
He catches a nice pass.
He didn't spike the ball.
He fumbles the ball.
This past week?
Yeah, he lost the ball. Again, my son goes, "Hey, Dad, text Smoking Jim." I go, "He's watching every move he made. He caught 3 passes for 91 yards and gave up the game."
Did he?
Yeah, it cost them. They scored on the next drive.
Wow.
Yeah, but he dropped the ball.
That's
Running
enough.
down inside the 20-yard line, drops the football.
That's
After he
it.
caught it.
That Washington needs to step his game up, and this may seem a little out there. I did hear this suggestion too. What would you think about if Washington doesn't elevate his game come
Dez
next
Bryant.
week? Dez Bryant. Can you imagine
Whoa.
him as a third option on that team with
That'd
Vance
be
McDonald
interesting.
and Jesse
Yeah.
James, and then you got Le'Veon coming back if he comes
Wow.
back?
I just
Who on earth
put it
is
this
that?
way. In my draft report in 2010, my number 1 receiver was Dez Bryant. My number 2 receiver was Antonio Brown. Got to put them together.
Who on earth,
Wow.
if Ben's going, is going to stop that offense? If they just play an average defense that makes some stops, create a turnover, may God have mercy on your defense. I mean, if that team is humming,
You would think.
who you going to cover? Who you going to double? You got Le'Veon out there, and actually, you know what? Sometimes you might even go a little nutty and maybe do like a wildcat, have James Conner or Wishbone back
Yeah.
there with James Conner and Bell, and you had those two
Don't
wide
forget
out.
McDonald.
Oh boy, I said it.
Except I forget McDonald because he drops the ball every so often.
You know, he was kind of quiet
Yeah.
yesterday, but he made some.
Yeah. Well, before he got here, he had a reputation for not holding on to the ball.
Chris Conti's still looking for his teeth right now. 'cause
Well, that
Look at
was
the
a
back of
great
his head.
play. That was a great play.
I thought
and
if anything that play was going to energize that team into being where they were supposed to be.
Yeah.
And they
Being
were.
like the team they
were
should be.
killing Tampa Bay, and then in the second half they went to sleep. And then the
Choked
next
up.
week again they start off down 14-0, and then they come
Tie
back.
it.
Everyone's like, "Yeah, here we go," and they take the lead, and then
Nothing.
out the door again. Here we go. So I was concerned this week. I'm thinking if they
Well-
can't win at home for the 4th straight time, we're going to have some problems.
Yeah.
But they did. So
Well, luckily,
it's building. It's
Tomlin.
just
People want to blame Tomlin, but he has a nice record in October. He has
You
a
need
he
to
has a
win
mediocre
in,
record for September.
What month are we looking at? They need to win in. Was it January?
Yeah.
That's what counts.
Yeah.
Real
No.
mediocre.
And December, we need the December
They
wins
win
too.
December, but January is where it counts. That's where you get.
Below
Yeah.
mediocre then.
That's where you get your Hall of Fame credentials. Winning in January, you can win all of them games all you want. If you don't do nothing come January,
I understand, but we got to win some games before that.
they should be okay.
He
They
wins, a
get
lot,
this
he wins a
game.
lot in February for some reason.
They think I'm hoping we see. Well, will we have a February Super Bowl again this year? Or they move it back?
Yeah, it's February. I
Black
think.
History Month. He always wins.
Well, he's gonna have to. I got.
Yeah.
We'll get back to next
Keep
show
an eye
and see
open
how
on
we do
that.
here.
Yeah. Yeah.
I do like them against Cincinnati next week. I think
Do
if they
you?
win that game, you go into the bye.
You heard it here
You got
first.
some good vibes now, and if Le'Veon comes back, you start off against Cleveland, and you want to.
What do you think of Le'Veon coming back and not having to work his first week?
Well, I said that he has some fences to mend. Because if I was out there since the mid
beginning.
July, and I'm out there doing all this work, and like you're telling me that well, like,
You don't want to
I'm
run a lot.
not important. You know what I mean? Like, you're getting paid
Right.
now to come back in half season after I've been doing this all off season and
Into the year.
training camp, and now I got bruises all over me and stuff like that. If I'm offensive lineman, I'm like, hey, I'm the one that paves the way for you. So you,
Well, he got another option. His other option is what James Harrison said, fake an injury.
see that. to
That's
me-
one of the dumbest things that I ever heard in my life, that a guy like James Harrison would go on ESPN and say that.
And
How
if you're in
stupid-
that locker room and that
how
would happen,
stupid
how
you
far
gotta
do you
be.
think he would get before someone snatched him up and threw him into a locker? I mean, if he was getting paid to do that, and you knew he was
Somebody
was
break
faking
his
something,
leg. They break his leg on purpose.
I would think someone would say, "Nah, that ain't gonna happen."
that would
but-
happen.
Yeah, that was ridiculous. For
That's
him,
his hero, James Harrison.
James Conner be happy.
I have no problem with James running the rest of the year. I really don't.
No.
But if they get Le'Veon back, you're getting the best running back in the game back. You can't
and a great
complain.
receiver.
Yeah.
And he can catch 75 balls.
So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Now for Philadelphia, lost Jay Ajayi today. He's out.
Yeah.
So they have no running backs, and they were sniffing around a couple weeks ago.
Somebody's going to pay him the money. I've been telling people they're
They
going to
got-
give him $40-50 million.
They got 2 second-round picks, Philadelphia. So if they was able to fleece them for a second-round pick and maybe get another player back somewhere, it's something you consider. Depends.
LeGarrette Blunt put a good word in for Le'Veon Bell with Philly.
Oh man,
Bring them two together. What the heck?
I said I think when he comes back, everything should be okay. But again, if he doesn't,
There'll be a little.
I still think James Conner can handle the load. I mean, I said you still have to block for the guy.
Yeah.
So if they block like they did
Yeah.
against this team, and you
Well,
be
they are.
creative
They
out
are
there,
getting paid to block, right?
yeah, that does help.
Yeah, that's
Like,
part
hey,
of
you know,
their
give me some
salaries.
cash. How about I
Yeah.
can find a little bit of extra block on there so
Yeah.
the guy can get through the line first? you know?
Sure. Just
but
a little
he
bit.
runs hard though.
Yeah, he
And he
does.
throws people down, and like it's not like I said. I get annoyed when I hear people say that they don't think he could like start.
Here's the
How many
difference.
teams do you think he can start right now?
Oh, half a dozen or more.
Yeah, and he definitely going to start in Philadelphia, right?
Sure, no doubt.
You don't think Cincinnati would
Tomorrow.
want him over Joe Mixon?
Yeah, they'd take him in a second.
Cleveland? I mean, you want Nick Chubb or who else they got from 49ers there? Yeah, you think they wouldn't want James Conner running for them right now?
They'd take him.
In a second.
Sure.
So Steelers got a
Smoking Jim calls him a brittle brother, but that's just Smoking Jim. You know, he survived cancer. He built his body up. Look at him. He's bigger than you.
You're going to get injuries. Hey, Le'Veon too. I mean, how many
Exactly.
times did he finish the season, especially
thing-
against this team
Yeah.
coming up?
One thing I can say, I believe the offensive line probably wants Le'Veon Bell over James Conner for the very reason. Did you remember with Le'Veon Bell, the gifts he gave the offensive line at the end of the season? Conner.
Oh,
can't
forget
afford
the
that.
gifts. You got to block.
I have to give James a little bit of a bonus
Nice
there.
gift.
He needs some more money. He could take him out to eat, but that's about
Take
it.
James out.
Yeah. Yeah. No, we've covered a lot. What kind of time we got left here?
Hey, doing our best here, aren't we?
4 minutes to go. Can you handle it?
4-minute warning.
Yeah.
my God,
That's
where do we go?
Pittsburgh Sportsline.
We have the meeting of
Oh,
Tuesday
do you,
night.
do you watch baseball at all?
Yeah, I've been watching a little bit.
Go Yankees.
How about these Brewers?
Yeah.
See, we're talking with her on the way up. Is why can we not have the same success as the Brewers?
Small market team.
They're smaller than we are. They have less population.
Yeah.
They don't have a TV market. They're in a TV market that's lower than ours.
Right.
But it all comes down to one guy. Who's that again? Bob Nutting?
No, bottom line Bob.
I mean,
Bottom line Bob, that's what they call him.
you know how many games I've been to the last 2 years?
Couple.
One. The one that took her last year, Hutch's last game.
Nice.
I lost the want to go watch them.
Yeah.
Watching the team they had from 98 wins go from letting one guy walk, they let Hap go, went on
Right.
almost won the
Well,
Cy Young the next year.
My thing with that is sometimes you have to spend the money. Like I've heard great scouts say, when you have a team that's right close into it,
Yeah.
you get a better player because if he wins 3, 4, 5, 6 games, that's the margin you have to go to the World Series.
Yeah.
And that's what we needed. When you're at 98 wins,
They're like, well,
guess what? Spend.
We found this guy, so let's get rid of this guy and see if we could do it again next year.
Right.
Except that plan backfired.
And I was a little bit shocked because I was one like Smoking Jim that thought they'd be lucky to win 76 without Cole and without Kutch.
Well, when they got
but
Archer-
Kutch hasn't been hitting that well the last couple years.
He picked it up, I guess, the last couple
Yeah,
weeks for the Yankees.
he did,
So
but he was struggling through most of the year.
Dickerson now did him this year.
Yeah.
Everything.
Sure.
So you have some good outfielders. I mean, Polanco's going to be out
Right.
for, a couple of months next year at least. to
I
start.
was at that game with the slide that was like the Karate
Okay,
Kid.
watch that one.
It was like the Karate Kid. It's like you're going into second base. Why are you doing a cartwheel?
I think we had our. I forgot.
That's how I got to describe it. He cartwheeled into second base, hurt his shoulder, tore his leg
I
up.
watched him. I'm going, what?
You're a major
that?
leaguer. Like I was telling the guy I was with, I go, Marte and Polanco are hustling this game. What's going on? Did somebody tell them if they do well, they'll be fine? And then he goes out going for a double and does a catapult into the
He
bag.
looked like someone yelled grenade or something. He like jumped in the air and
He
flipped
blew
and-
up. That flip on there and how he landed.
The new kid though did well though, in his absence. And so
Yeah.
that's some guy that you
Yeah.
might want to take a look at. But they drastically need to upgrade that power next
Yeah.
year. Now if Jung Ho comes
You mean
back,
Frazier?
because
Frazier actually did.
He played outfield the last couple weeks, and so I wasn't even paying attention.
Yeah, I didn't.
But he hit like a couple home runs. He batted almost 400.
Yeah.
And he played great. I mean,
Yeah.
he played exceptional. And they said that, well, hey, this guy gets up, he's gonna make some noise. Watch for him.
Sure.
So I guess
He did.
him, Dickerson, and Marte are going to be the guys next year. So if Jung Ho comes back and he can hit his 20 to 25
Who
home
knows
runs,
what kind of shape he's in, though?
well, he now has an entire offseason to get better. So
That's
you
it.
need that power.
Yeah.
So
Well,
they need to for fans like us to come back and say we're in. They need to put something back into the product. If they don't,
Right.
I'll watch on TV again next year. I don't care.
I enjoy watching the games. I never cared about the owner growing up, but at this point in time, the owner's made a difference
Yeah.
in a bad way.
You want to win. I mean,
Yeah.
whether you're a fan or whether you cover these guys, they represent your town, and you feel better
Sure.
when the teams are doing better. And so when you have a team like that doesn't, not that the players don't try, they play.
they're-
I'm there for them.
They're
I'm
playing to
I'm
the best
for
of
them.
their abilities.
Yeah, but when you have a guy that's hamstringing them, it won't give them a chance to win.
Sure.
Won't give the guy a chance to go improve the team and make them better, and then build off of that.
Right.
And I said, there's no excuse for Milwaukee to be there, and the Pirates are not.
Well, I got to shut you down because we're out of time. I
I love
want to
being
thank
back.
you, Hall of Famer. It was great having you back
Love
on.
being back.
We'll do this again in the next few months, get you back on maybe after the beginning of the year because that dreaded January will be there.
I'm going to have you guys come down to Midland, man. I'm going to get you down in my hometown.
We'll have to do that. That'd be great as long as Dina's passing out those special pills. And I end every show with Stay Joey Strong.